Hello, Blissful Beings. Live Blissful Barbara here, founder of Be Well Retreats. I cannot wait to tell you about tonight. Okay, so here's a couple questions. Have you ever had a dream or a desire and it came true? Let's see. What about really wanting something so much and it didn't come true? Or how about this one? You had this dream, this desire, and you wanted it really badly. And when you finally just like gave up and were thinking this is never going to happen, in the future, it did happen, like a miracle. So when I was 9 years old, I remember my mom and I went to go to her friend's house. And her friend had just gotten a new car. And it was the first time that I had ever seen a two-door, just a two-door car where you had to have the front seat move and then you wedged yourself into the back seat. So I was kind of excited to go for a ride in this car that I had never seen before. And when I got in the back seat, I was looking around and I thought, this is a cool car. And so I bellowed out to the front seat, what kind of car is this? Because I didn't know at 9 years old, make and models. I didn't understand any of that. And I heard, it's a Mercury Comet. And I thought, okay, when I'm old enough to have a car, I'm going to get a Mercury Comet. And then I went on about my 9-year-old life, 10-year-old life, 11, 12, 13, and so on. Probably never even thought any more of it. But I had a declaration. I had this little desire, and that's all I did. And so that is something in the first step of what I want you to be aware of is, what do you want? What's your desire? What would make you happy? We're going to get into the other steps in a little bit. So then when I became an adult and I was learning more in my 40s about your mind and your subconscious and my spiritual growth that was happening and understanding how metaphysics worked and the power of prayer and just all kinds of growth. And I was buying my third car, and all of a sudden it just all came together where I thought, oh my goodness, I remember when I was 9 years old, I sat in that Mercury Comet. And when I was 16, just 7 years later, I needed a car because I was starting to work part-time. So my grandmother, who was willing to co-sign and in a way that I could pay her back and work and get a car, we went to a used car dealership, and the gentleman was walking around and he said, for your price range, the only thing that we really have is this red Mercury Comet. Now at the time, when I was 16, 17, 18, and I loved this car, it didn't even occur to me that I had said I wanted that car when I was 9 years old, having that first experience. Didn't even occur to me until many decades later when I realized, wow, there is truth to all of this. And I want you to think about all the different times in your life. And I know Nadja, who said she was going to be on this. We just talked about this because Nadja was painting pictures of farms and barns and everything. And I'll let her tell you where she works now. So it's pretty, I think, miraculous. I was looking at the definition of miracle, and it says a highly improbable or extraordinary event, development or accomplishment that brings you very welcome consequences. And so there's step 2, which is really feeling what it is that you want. It's not just one thing to remove some of the subconscious blocks, which we're going to be doing in the Be Well Retreats on Saturday. This coming Saturday, September 26th, Danny Green is going to be helping us with self-hypnosis and how we can remove some of those subconscious blocks that keep us from our desires. And there's also, though, the heart, the magnetic field of the heart is expansive. It's really quite powerful. So beyond just our minds. So it really has to be the feeling of what you want, that desire, that experience of what you want to have with that. And then there is this letting go, this trusting, this knowing that just you thinking and feeling it means that it's already starting to happen. Like, you wouldn't even have the inspiration to go buy a sailboat or take that job or be in that relationship or have that experience or that thing, whatever. You wouldn't even have that if it wasn't already a type of manifestation. And so one of my one of my friends, I do call her a friend, in Michigan, who was my esthetician and also did manis and pedis and everything. Every time I would go to one of our treatments, she would always tell me, she was just married and she was always wanting to have a family. And so she would always tell me about all their time and money and treatments and different things that her and her husband were going through, and it would cause them so much stress, and it was so much pressure because they wanted this family and they were very religious. They prayed a lot and everything, and they had a community around it. And I think after a good year, she said, we've just decided we're going to let it go. We're just going to give up, let God, let go, let God. And within 6 months, she was pregnant. So part of it could have been the inflammation, the stress, all of that was going on, the physicality of it, the physiological of it. It could have also been that it just wasn't the right time for that soul to be born. And not only did she have one, but they had 2 little girls. So there's a lot to be said about this letting go process as well. And not getting too frustrated or too eager or wanting it too much, because sometimes we don't always know what's best for us in the right time. But that, again, is the miracle of it all. And so I would highly encourage you to come to BeWellRetreats.com and learn more about that. Also, to know what do you want is a really important step as well. And how you can do that is to find some quiet time, to daydream, to maybe turn off TV and the socials and just let yourself lay in bed and let your mind just wander. To maybe use a non-dominant hand exercise. I have that on my YouTube channel, Barbara Badalati on YouTube, and I demonstrate how you use the non-dominant hand activity to be able to tap into what it is that you really want, because otherwise we're in our brains a lot, in our minds, and we don't really move into the place of what's in our hearts, because that truly will guide us to exactly what we need and what we want. So there's that. And I think I'm going to do a really great future visualization activity as well at the retreat on Saturday. And Nate is going to be doing some Qigong and some movement and some law of attraction. So the 3 presenters and I, plus there's all kinds of sacred shares and different things that we're doing with everybody so that you have this extraordinary experience. So it's very experiential, and we really, really would love for you to be there. I hope this was really helpful, and I would love to hear, what is your next miracle? What is your dream? How can we hold that vision for you as well? Just like Walt Disney had a vision, and look at what happened from that. And if you want to share any stories like I did, that would be lovely too. So I'd love to hear from you. Take good care, and many, many blessings. I'll see you next time.